We're good? All right. I'd like to call the quarterly, how do you say that? The October quarterly meeting of the North Canaan Events Committee to order at 7 p.m. Can I get an approval or amendment for the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, it is passed. Approval or amendment of the minutes of the prior meeting on July 28th, 2025.
So moved.
All right, fight it out. Who's first, who's second?
That was first.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, that's passed. Moving on to old business. Marlisa and I were discussing prior, a little challenging to have to rewind 3 months for old business. But with only meeting quarterly, this is, I guess, going to be the new routine. Quarterly seems to be working to get to making quorum less taxing on everyone's schedule. So I think that as we move through, I'm welcome to any suggestions, but I'm thinking this is what works best and is getting us through the business side of things. So Old Railroad Days was way back in August. It from everything that the feedback that I heard, it was very well received as being a separate event. Museums saw some record attendance, had record donations. The walking tours were fantastic. I think we could have even had more than 2 walking tours because people heard people talking about them after the fact and were wishing that they had known about it sooner. Does anyone else have any feedback on the Old Railroad Days?
We were trying to figure out why so many people came, which is insane.
That's
Hundreds of
a
people.
good problem to have.
But it's like anything else, you've got to be able to handle it. It's like you're hoping and praying for rain if you're a farmer, and you get a foot of it, and it goes to waste. So we would, after that happened, I talked to a number of people. We were trying to figure out, how do we spread this out? How do we get people to come on a regular basis because of what? They came, I think, because of the trains. That was a major draw. And I was surprised. That was a Saturday, am I right?
Mhm.
Well, Sunday morning when I got to the railroad station, 7:30, 8 o'clock, there wasn't a car in the lot until I got in, and I sensed there was something behind the building. I went through the building and opened the back door, and there was 20 cars back there waiting for the trains to come back through to leave. So, we need more trains in Canaan. But if we can push it out and spread it around every month, every couple of months, something that creates a destination point for people. Why are you going to Canaan? See those trains? Always an attraction, and everybody benefits from it. They were looking for the diner. They were looking for food. They were looking for other facilities.
So during Railroad Days, would you like to see more stuff on Sunday located at the depot? Like Saturday and
well,
Sunday?
weekends make it easier to get kids out of school.
Yeah, right now I'm just looking at Railroad Days, that
Yeah.
weekend in August.
I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
It's important to get people into town. Because then they're not only going to look for the trains, they're going to look for support services, food,
Yeah.
the theater,
Of
whoever
course.
else, bookstores, whatever there.
Yeah.
They're going to go nosing around from building to building. I've had that happen many times. People come, they stop in our shop at the accordion store, and they ask me, well, what else is there to see? What else is there to see? And they walk around town and they get disappointed because there's nothing else to see except maybe have a sandwich or something. So
I'm hoping that next year during Railroad Days, now that you see how successful it was, that maybe we can get more businesses to do so that it'll spread throughout the town, not just food,
Yeah,
but the other businesses maybe doing something special.
Yeah, but the further extension of this is how do we keep it going year round?
Mhm.
If you have a business, it's not just railroad day, but you're open,
No, yeah,
come January, February. Ugh,
So
You know.
that would, those would be other talking points.
Yeah.
But like Mary Lisa said, specific to Railroad Days, the movie was so attended. Um, so definitely Friday night with trains coming in and the night market is a good tie together. And it has two different groups of people. Those folks coming to support the night market, those folks coming to photograph the trains. Saturday did well with a good chunk of the population being in the morning and probably up through 1 o'clock, then seemed to die down. So we need to have something to keep them around later in the afternoon. The bed race was Saturday night and I think not as well advertised as it could have been.
Yeah.
Again,
that might be something that doesn't continue if it's not
Well-
popular.
we also need that family to, step up and want to do it again.
Right.
But I know that the folks from Housatonic that brought in all the trains had even said afterwards that Saturday afternoon attendance had gone down.
Something
That
similar.
there was nothing to, and they've already started brainstorming as to ways of, so they talked about music, some more kids activities, which are very simple things to solve. We can definitely bring in a face painter, we can bring in maybe a balloon person, we could bring in, there's lots of people that we know from other events that could help broaden that. And then Sunday, work on, I think, some more things to keep people in town so that Sunday's just as successful. And it's not consolidated all into one day.
How did your tag sale go? Did you did tag sale? that
We
week?
did a tag sale at the depot, but we were around the end and we didn't do very well. So we probably will do the town tag sale next year. We're not sure about the other one.
Just curious.
Yeah, let you know.
It was the location. I
Where
think
Yeah.
we
people-
located.
Yeah.
People just
We
couldn't see
probably
it.
could use if next year, the other end of the depot. And put, if we need umbrellas and everything. We might do that, but that's just a might,
Okay.
just.
Anything else on railroad days? Okay, so moving into night markets. Based on vendor feedback, the night market had the most foot traffic during railroad days when it got piggybacked with another event per se, and that was the trains coming in. September, there was less foot traffic than August. And many vendors expressed that they weren't interested in trying it again in October. So we had made the decision to cancel it. We weren't going to try to struggle finding vendors if people were already kind of turned off with low foot traffic. We also had 3 events, 3 weekends right in a row in October, and it's been a challenge this year getting volunteers. And again, another reason for canceling the October night market. So we did August and September. Mary Lisa will cover the money side of that and kind of talk about expenses during her treasurer's report. But just to report out, we really need to piggyback if the brewery is not replaced with something, we need to figure out what the anchor is for the night market. You got foot traffic.
Yeah, but I was wondering, why night market? Why day markets, would more people come
So-
during the day?
The night market was not our event to begin with.
Yeah.
It's another event that we've picked up the pieces and were asked to carry it out. So night market was a brewery event. And it was to give an atmosphere, an environment, and something to do. A lot of people comment that the sidewalks roll up in Canaan and that there's not much to do in the evening. The night market definitely shows itself well with the lights on the tent. It looks very festive. You know, people want to be nosy and see what's going on, but there's not enough foot traffic. Last year was totally different than the two we did this year. Like, if we add August and September together, we probably still don't equal the one we did last year. In vendors and attendance and all of the above.
It would be pretty hard to get vendors during the day, because these were on Friday nights.
Yeah.
To try to get a vendor on a Friday afternoon probably isn't, I mean, we have a hard enough time getting them
Yeah.
on the weekends. I think that's,
I was thinking something along of tag sales. If you can get people that would have a lot of stuff into that area, people stop for tag sales. If you've got, I don't know how many, dozen groups of people that would put up stuff, it might become a habit. And once a week during the nice weather.
I'm not so sure the local businesses would be receptive to us closing off the parking lot once.
Yeah, that's always an issue. Well, we got the back of the station to use for parking. So not like they can get them back there and then they can walk wherever they want to go. But the idea is to get people into Canaan on a
Mhm,
regular basis.
correct.
So we have to be known for something. Okay, we got trains coming in. We're not gonna have them every week. I don't know if we can even get them every month or quarter. What else could we do to bring people into Canaan?
we
They're
move the
going
community
around us.
tag sale to the depot.
Huh?
I'm thinking, you mentioned tag sale, and I said maybe it can move that to the depot to get it closer to town.
Mhm.
And then you could have walking tours, other, if you're in the center of town, you could. Kind of a. Recognize the local businesses, like with the bingo board or the.
I'll tell you, it's a pain in the neck to do a tag sale. So we do it.
It's a suggestion. We can, when we're moving on, when we get to the discussion for 2026 events,
Yeah.
we can combine all that.
Yeah,
I think the tag sale that Paul was talking about, though, would be people bringing their own things, so we wouldn't have to do anything.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
There are people that love doing it and they love pulling stuff
People like
together.
tag sale.
Okay, so is that it for night market?
I had a ball at those night markets.
Music was good. Music
Mhm.
was definitely a plus to have the
Yeah, it
music.
was. It was.
Anytime you go to a farmer's market, the music's a plus.
Mhm.
Whether somebody's playing guitar or singing or, yeah.
Mhm.
Right, Conquer the Valley. That was the second road race in our 3-part series. There ended up being 6 runners. I think there was 6.
Okay.
I have a picture.
And
There,
there was not many, they weren't all local people.
No,
There was only
Two.
two local people. So that's,
so it's, and many of them were talking about other races in the area. And that they chose to do this one versus maybe that's why we had such a small number at ours, is because others were choosing to do the others that were going on. We have one more race to make it through this year. So I guess it's
and then we can decide.
what
if-
to do
if
from
we're-
there.
If we're gonna proceed further next year.
Pumpkin Fest, we're still in the process of canceling. It's not a very cut and dry just to make the announcement to cancel. There's a lot of legwork to hold the event and or to cancel the event. So we're requesting checks from the town treasurer, who then submits them back to the committee treasurer, who then mails them back for all the refunds. We canceled because there was just simply not enough volunteers to successfully hold the event.
Along with emergency surgery.
Mhm.
That was big,
Mhm.
that was a
Yes,
big portion of it. And
we still needed a lot more people to step up. Yeah, so another unfortunate, we lost Spring Fest due to the weather. We lost Pumpkin Fest. We need to figure out how to recoup more volunteers and, well, I guess I'll just wait to talk about that down in new business. But Pumpkin Fest, we're still working on canceling and sending out the refunds. There was some things that were just too late to cancel, like the ad in the shopper's guide. We were able to cancel the portable toilet. So we tried to cut back. We also tried to wait literally as long as we could to make that decision. But a decision had to be made one way or the other so that we could try to cancel and not have to pay for as many things as possible.
A lot of the refunds, and just to make it a little more complicated, because we canceled Spring Fest because of the weather. A lot of people chose to use those money for Pumpkin Fest, so it's not new money that came in, it was money that we already had. So we're tracking to make sure that, because all those people get their money back, so but hopefully. So a few of the people signed up for Winterfest.
So then again, it's carrying
so
over
Carrying over the funds.
one more time. However, Winterfest is not our event, it's our collaboration. And therefore, we need to now cut a check for all of those vendors to the school.
It's really their money.
So we're holding it at the moment to then, pay for their booths over there. So, yeah, yeah, it's lots of spreadsheets.
Hopefully next year, I mean, we had a lot of vendors, we had a lot of activities for the kids. And hopefully next year we'll come back just.
We had a lot of excitement, with
Just a strong next year.
everyone that was involved. All right, I'm passing to you,
Okay.
treasurer's report.
Okay. So. Do the best I can to read it off this little screen. My fault okay, so our bank account balance as of September 30th, which is only 3 months into our fiscal year. This money carries us through till next June 30th. But our balance right now is $39,997.15. The expenses that we had, and kind of backtracking a little bit, what is that? Okay, this is all messed up. The night market that we had during railroad days. So I'm trying to, the expenses during railroad days total $1,066.54. That includes payment for the program that we made up, flyers, advertising, banners, the movie at the theater, and electricity. So really, the only income that we got from Railroad Days was $110 for the vendor participation fee at the night market. There was nothing else that brought us in any income, which is fine, because Railroad Days is our gift to the town of Canaan to support our wonderful railroad. The night market in September, expenses were $75. We took in $120 in vendor fees. If we're only talking money, said, oh, we made money, but the amount of time and effort and the volunteerism that it takes to get it, you know, between stringing the lights and everything else. I mean, that money is just, it's not dollars and cents, but there's a lot of time and a lot of volunteers that are needed to make that actually happen. The road race, because it was held in the valley.
You're correct, it is 5 runners.
Okay. Thank you. The road race, because it was held in the valley, we had to pay for a portable toilet. And we also purchased lawn signs for that. So that total came to $569.25. Now, we did have donations that were specific to this particular race. So that
Sponsorships.
sponsorships, that's what I meant, sponsorships. That totals $600 for this particular race. But because we didn't purchase t-shirts, that money is going to be used for the Santa race. So whoever donated for this one, that money is going to really be transferred over to the December race. And they'll hopefully we'll have participation that will warrant ordering the t-shirts, which has their logos. And we also have the banners that we've made already for the businesses that will be able to display. And we won't need a portable toilet for that one because it'll be leaving from the elementary school in the town hall.
Yeah, we'll open.
We'll be able to open the town hall. Then Pumpkin Fest, this is kind of a rough estimate, like we said, but the total amount of refunds and the lawn signs we had already purchased, the banners, and advertising, those expenses, and this is rough because I still in the process of doing the refunds. We're looking at $1,746 in expenses. We did have one vendor who was very sweet and donated her $25. So we don't have to refund that one. And here, this one here, this is, I think, a very important aspect of my report tonight is the donations that are a result of our annual appeal letter that we sent out in May. So the total dollar amount of donations was $11,500. Just to put it in perspective for everyone, we sent out 109 letters to the local businesses and previous donors. We received 19 donations, which is approximate return rate of 6%. I don't do a whole lot of fundraisers, so I'm not sure if a return rate of 6% is good, but I don't think so. Just a little, so that's. So we'll
Were there
have to.
people on the return list that donated in the past, but this year couldn't do it because of whatever?
Right, there were, I mean, I sent it out. 109 letters went out to previous donors and other local businesses, new businesses that had opened up in town, businesses that had given in the past. I didn't break it down to exactly like, well, this 10 businesses last year and only 2 businesses. I didn't break it down.
Yes.
But we have the
Yeah.
tracking for it, so we know. 19 donations. Again, I don't have the record for how many we got last year or the year before. I haven't been in charge for that long. But I don't know what we can do to make it more effective. It could just be economic times. But that, I just wanted everyone to be aware. We are trying,
Could be turned down.
so we did get 11,000. Yes,
Question,
yes,
you mentioned 39,000 and change when you
Mhm.
started.
that's,
How much of that money is undesignated? How much do we have going forward that we can use?
We're getting to it.
Getting to it, okay.
yeah, well, right now, I mean, obviously, none of the refunds. That's gonna be about, roughly, I said, about 1,700. It could be
Yeah.
more by the time we're done. Other upcoming expenses that we have for this year. Winter
Well, when you say this year, do you mean calendar
talking-
year or
I'm
fiscal
talking about-
year?
for the next calendar year. I mean, I should say upcoming advance expenses for, say, our next quarter.
Okay.
Till our next, I mean, this is basically through December,
Got it.
really. Winterfest, Santa, the December road race. We have the business window decorating contest, and there's also expenses for our letters to Santa. So that's money that's already, there's no numbers for that yet, but that's part of what will be spent between now and December. And then as far as the rest of the funds, that's what we have to use from January to June. That'll pay for the fireworks, it'll pay for any event that we have between those dates.
Hmm.
And the one thing that I just want to say, and I'm going, well, maybe it's too much information all at once, but I mean, we all know that our fireworks are going to be more expensive next year. This year, we had a record year because we had 4 days of the carnival. We did very well. But Mother Nature doesn't always provide us with perfect weather for all 4 nights of the carnival. So even though, like I said, we have the 39,000, if Mother Nature doesn't cooperate, if donations don't increase, then 25,000 of that technically is fireworks.
Hmm.
Just to put it a little bit into perspective, it does sound like, we've got.
And that's no
good-
advertising. That's literally just the show.
So it cost about 25,000 for the fireworks event.
for the
No,
fireworks,
just,
For the fireworks,
Just for the
for the
fireworks.
whole
Just the
event.
shells.
Okay.
yeah.
Because there's like over $1,000 for the portable toilets, there's
Yeah,
advertising is, so there's.
so it fitters away as usual.
Right,
Yes.
and
Yep.
then, so
Okay.
again, we rely on the donations to continue to come in so that
And we never thought about charging admission or anything.
for,
Kind of challenging.
No, we can't.
I got it really.
Do you think flyers put in mailboxes just to the town would get more money in?
We
I-
could discuss that down here,
Okay.
Yeah.
down
Like,
here on
we always
appeals
send
letter.
money in.
Right, but
so that's pretty much everything. I think I covered everything that, as far as the treasurer report goes.
all right, thank you. So moving on to new business. Up first would be Winterfest. So that is November 30th. All the different versions.
Versions.
That's why it was on there, sorry. It was a
Makes
work in
sense.
progress because
All very cute.
we need to get the A-frames done. So I'm thinking that is simple.
Mhm.
You can read that driving by, you can read that on the A-frame. This is not editable. We found out it's locked. So we needed to come up, they all say the same thing.
Screenshotters.
Right, it's, if it's fuzzy on a flyer, think what it's gonna be on the A-frame and then driving by. That is great for a poster, but too
Mhm.
busy for a road.
Right, I think
road
for
sign.
the sign, the
Um,
road sign, I think that we should. Yeah,
so when Marlisa's
Simple.
talking about our money, I'm now gonna spend it and you get six of these to put on our A-frames. And bear in mind, Winterfest is a collaboration. So the collaboration means more than likely someone else is getting the funds.
Which is the 7th and 8th grade student activities.
So we are again, supporting an event in the community by doing the vendor portion. We lined up Santa. They are doing the food portion. They are providing the labor. They are providing the venue. So therefore they are taking care of the insurance. We will see very, very limited
Yeah, last year,
feedback. We got
last year
0.
we made nothing. So this year there's a,
We're trying to at least recoup Santa, and I'm not sure we're gonna recoup advertising, but
some of this is, we
we are
have a little bit left over from the
From
grant,
from the Canaan
money.
Foundation.
from the Canaan Foundation.
So
which
we're hoping it will
it's
be
not
a
gonna
break
pay-
even,
It's not gonna pay for all of them,
but between the little bit that we get from the vendors and then we are gonna try to have a swag booth to try to get rid of some of the merchandise that we still are storing. So
Dollar
hoping that
Tree
it will be a break even for Winterfest.
And those are for sale, the merchandise.
Yes.
And then maybe they leave a donation, you can
Right.
ask for a donation.
Yeah, we'll have our donation.
If we're selling t-shirts for $1 or $2, maybe people will likely, and that's happened before in the past where if something was $8, they'll
Yeah,
just give me a
they'll wrap it
$10
up.
bill and say, keep the change.
So where will this take place? What
At the
lo-
This is at the elementary school.
Elementary.
And this is the same day as the Parade of Lights.
It's during the day and then the parade of lights.
So we did move ours earlier. And therefore we will be done. And then the Parade of Lights will happen, but hot chocolate is happening here. It's not at the pavilion afterwards. Santa is here, not at the pavilion afterwards. So everything kind of got moved inside. So it should be, well attended no matter what our weather decides to do that day.
2 to 4, yeah,
No, 11 to 4.
11 to 4.
Yeah,
Cool. Then the parade is seven.
no, 6.
Six, yeah.
6. All right, other winter events would be the Santa Chase, which is number 3 for road race. And that is 12/13.
12/13, yes.
Okay. The business window contest. We have some fancy flyers that will be going out for the business window decorating contest. The timing has changed based on feedback that we got last year. So it's not necessarily coinciding with the parade anymore. It's being a little bit more flexible for businesses,
Yeah,
having
businesses
time
felt
to,
that it was a little too much
to
pressure
rush.
to try to get it done right after
Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanksgiving to get their
That is
windows
tough.
done. The other little change, well, it's a big change, is we're also not making it necessary for the businesses that are located on the main streets in town to actually register. Last year, we only had, I think, 6, I don't even know if there were 6
6,
businesses that
but there was a
registered.
lot more decorated.
There were a lot more windows that were decorated. And I know as I was driving by, I was like, oh, if they had entered, they would win. And it's just, so I figured if we just make it opened up, I mean, it'll be up to us as judges, to go through the town. I mean, it's pretty much easy. It's Church Street, Main Street, East Main Street, Railroad Street, Ashley Falls Road. And there's also the option, if your business is located other than those locations, then they can send us an email to register. And that way we'll know that to go. to
So
that
we're kind of
destination.
piggybacking how Rec does their decorating contest. And again, instead of having a first, second, and third, just like how Rec has different categories, we will have categories that we're judging them on.
Right,
and-
I'll send out all the details, on what those.
Her
are.
rules and-
It just sounds better than first, second, and third,
Mhm.
you know, if you're, and
wind it
this
up,
way
yeah.
you can have 2 totally different designs that really
the
would
most
qualify
important
as a first place, but because of first, second, this way here, we'll have different categories and people will be, we'll be able to choose.
Mary Lisa's gonna get us more information.
Yeah, so there's there's different, different thing, and I'm actually having this coincide with the residential decorating contest. So all the announcements will come out at the same time. And
What's the date on it?
the judging is gonna be December 16th.
16.
So
is
that's
for
when
judging.
we need to go around. And like rec does, they let people know a judging time block so that you will have your lights on. Because we know some businesses aren't open 7 days a week. So if they know that this is the judging time, they will have their lights either on a timer or turned on for that time frame.
This way, I think, and I think the businesses will be, especially if we recognize a business that doesn't always win. I think that'll get them excited about doing something in town, for the town. So yeah, more information I'll gather all that together to put it out so that all of us judges know what to do.
Oh, I didn't grab. All right, the other event that is going on during the winter are the Santa letters. And I printed it, but I didn't grab it off the printer. So Jessie,
She's not doing.
no, she is
Jesse Lawrence
Okay,
yep.
doing it again.
trying to. So Jessie has been in contact. She has a really great idea. This flyer has a QR code that brings you to the printable version of the letter. So not only will we have letters in different locations, but you literally can just scan the flyer and print your own blank copy. Because we were constantly running around trying to fill more and more blank copies.
That really simplifies.
It does, and it takes some pressure off of us trying to keep making sure that there's enough.
Every other day, make sure there's.
So Jessie has listed where the mailboxes are, what the time frame is that it's running from, when you can see Santa. Jessie's got it. So and this also means we can hang flyers in so many more places and not have to worry about also leaving a pile of letters. So maybe Canaan Kids Art Space would hang a flyer just because it's a high traffic sidewalk. We can give you guys a flyer and you don't need to worry about having the letters, but we can hit a lot of bulletin boards now with the flyers and not also have to have a pile of letters. So great addition. We thank Jessie for taking that on. And she said she wrote back 150 letters last year.
Wow,
I was like,
good for her.
yeah. So that's pretty amazing that Santa had to answer so many. And we thank the little elves that helped.
Better rate of return.
All right.
Santa's onto some.
Moving on to setting dates for 2026 meetings. Are we all in agreement of quarterlies to remain instead of going back to monthlies? I see a yes.
I am.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
Next Monday. If we keep the
Quarterlies
same-
versus monthly. All right. Did you happen to pull the dates if they're quarterlies?
I can't.
So it'll be
And then we'll put this in
January
writing too.
Yes.
So that it's up on the. everywhere.
and get Zoom links.
So our next quarterly would be the end of January, which would be January 26th. April 27th. July 27th. And October 26th.
And
7
staying at 7 o'clock.
Are you still gonna have the round tables?
Moving on to
No,
the,
that's good.
Snacks, we're getting there.
well, I have that under E.
Yep,
So next
okay.
is actually appeals letter.
Okay.
So going back, Miss Marcia, you asked how much of that money is already pre-allocated? Well, appeals letters cost money to send out.
So we'll have to revamp the appeals letter. Well, probably last year, we didn't send it out until May. I think we're going to move it up earlier. So maybe I'm thinking, early March, mail it out.
Yeah.
And that gives us a, good, hopefully more funds will come in before we have our large expenditures for the summer. Was there something else I was supposed to say about that?
I felt like,
I thought we did too, but I didn't write it down.
oh, okay, well,
I mean, we're gonna revamp the letter. It's gonna include, how important it is. And focus on the fact that the money that we raise really does pay for the fireworks.
Yeah.
Because maybe some businesses don't realize that that's how we make it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that, and we can talk in the beginning of the year if, like Bunny was saying, possibility of just doing a drop in the PO boxes versus, I think we discussed that a little bit at the beginning of this year.
We
but
did.
Because we were so late in the game, we opted to do it the way we usually did to the businesses.
we tailored it, instead of doing it by zip code, we tailored to repeat,
Right, exactly. That's so. we can
hoping that we
discuss-
had a better return on who we were sending them out to.
So we can, again, when in January, I'm hoping that in January, we can have a round table to really discuss how we want to do the appeals letter.
Yeah.
How we think we can get more of a response, be more effective.
Have you talked to any other nonprofits in town? Like yesterday was a great theater for the.
A lot of them
Yes.
send the zip code thing, like the fire company,
Yeah.
the ambulance, I mean, they all send pretty much to everybody gets that postal patron
Mhm,
envelope
yeah.
in the mail. And that's gonna be more costly than what we did, but I don't know if that would get us more of a return.
yeah, it's hard to
It's, you can
say.
spend more if you're gonna get more,
Exactly.
you know.
And we looked at doing a postcard with a QR code. The QR,
Those are gonna get just thrown in the garbage.
and also the QR code, if we go back to taking funds electronically, we're losing such a chunk, yes. That when it's such a small amount that people are donating, and then you have to lose a portion for the fees, we're better off just doing checks.
You send to individuals or is it businesses?
No, it's individuals too.
Yeah, but it's geared toward the individuals who have donated in the past.
And
It's
do
not a
any of the-
new list. of
Any of the
individuals.
employers of these individuals have matching?
We're not a 501c3.
Right.
So,
So 2026 events. We have already signed our contracts for the carnival and the fireworks. As far as laying out a calendar of events, that's really a lot to talk about now, and we're wondering, about doing a roundtable before our January quarterly on Tuesday, January 13th.
focus primarily on creating the 2026 schedule of events.
Calendar.
So if it gives us plenty, people, public, anyone who wants.
We would do a
Ideas.
post about it. Is it,
Ideas, what do people want to see? What do people want to do? What do people want us to try to consider? And that's what the roundtable would be focused And we could set dates, and I know, not that it's gonna stop other towns from picking the same date that we do, but if we decide in January, we pick weekends and we put it out there, at least we know our date was out there first.
Yes.
And, because this year, there was a lot of things going on the same dates that we were doing
Yes,
things.
tri-state area, you got.
Everywhere, yeah, not just,
Correct.
not just the,
Yes.
these few towns, it was all over.
Yeah.
So, but at least if we can get ours out there
Mhm.
early.
With that being said, on Tuesday, January 13th, would the community music room be available?
I'll make sure it is.
Are you guys in town? I didn't know if you have a planned vacation.
There now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we will make up a said flyer. We just needed to confirm that our location and
What time
In the
should,
evening, right?
yeah, what time?
You tell, well, after then, 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
so I'm gonna be very forthcoming. This is not gonna be an hour-long meeting. So do we want to bring it up to 6 o'clock?
Hmm.
Well, now you're colliding with dinner.
I think it might be better for people to bring food and eat there. I'm just being very transparent. Whenever we tried to plan this out in the past, we have not been able to get it done in an hour
Okay.
because people end up going off on tangents, and I'm just trying to move month to month to month.
Well, if we could supply food, but you never know how many people are.
Well, that's why I
Right,
think
right,
it's best for people just to bring
You're out.
your own,
Peanut butter and jelly.
you know, if whatever you,
It would be my
Well,
last.
and then, you know, we
Six.
can set the tables up so that people have plenty of space.
Yeah. So 6 to 8?
I
Let's
think
shoot
that
for that.
that's best, and
go longer
that
than that,
gives
but-
people some flexibility. It's giving people plenty of time to think, brainstorm, come with your ideas. So it's not a spur of the moment, oh, we're gonna start planning this.
Yeah.
But once we get that set, I would like to then start reaching out to our volunteer pools and say, these are the dates coming up. This is what we're anticipating needing, so that we don't get stuck the week before the event and not have enough volunteers.
You
Got
have, you have food?
Yes,
You do?
yes, they're just not very deep. We need to send in some life preservers. They might be frozen over in January.
Yeah, could be.
One question I periodically get asked, are the fireworks paid for entirely by us?
Yes,
There's no,
us as in the events
there's
committee.
no BD or bank or anybody?
Well,
Well, there are
there are donations
donors, yes.
that are specific to fireworks.
This is the gray area. When we answer that question, we have to answer that question that we are a bigger umbrella. Fireworks is one event
Hmm.
that the events committee puts on. We are a line item on the budget for the town of North Keenan to receive $10,000 to the events committee. How
Any purpose?
we then
Okay.
use that over a 12-month period goes very quickly.
There are donors who
Large
specify fireworks.
Yeah,
But
so,
Do
I am
that-
not-
yeah,
Do it
yes.
every year?
Yes,
Yeah, we can kind of rely on,
well,
but you can't, I can't rely on,
okay,
you can't rely on, but
I got it.
I can definitely tell you there are many large businesses in town that we have not
Not that
seen
money from
donations
the last
from,
2
and
years.
no, it's longer than that.
Do we ask them for donations?
Oh, yes,
They don't,
correct.
so far.
And it's not one, it's at least
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
That, and I mean, things change. We all know that. Hence, we're trying to get creative with some of the other ways that we fundraise. And by having a vendor market, it truly is a fundraiser. as long as that vendor market is well-staffed,
Yeah.
Mother Nature cooperates. Our biggest fundraiser is the carnival. And the proceeds that we receive for the ticket sales is our biggest fundraiser. We're hoping to do some more press releases and to try to get some of this information out so that there's a lot of, like yesterday at the Keenan Foundation, where there was lots of 501c3s. And when people came around and visited the events committee, that was my question, was, do you know how our fireworks are paid for?
Hmm.
And there wasn't one person who could answer correctly.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a challenge to try to educate, and explain some of the differences that are happening now and the expenses. And I mean, there still is tariffs on fireworks. That hasn't gone away yet. So we actually aren't at 25,000. It's 25,000 plus tariffs. Sorry.
Cross that bridge when we get. to-
Yes.
Cross that bridge when we have to make. the
our-
deposit in the
Our
spring.
show is 25,000.
Okay.
It's not whatever else gets
Yeah.
added onto that.
No. Got it.
Right, we made it up to volunteers. Again, the importance of laying out our event schedule, I think we can then try to communicate with the public and whoever our volunteers, wherever they might be coming from. We have volunteers. I do have a list of volunteers. There's people who are willing to go around and put up yard signs, take down yard signs, clean the yard signs, all invaluable. There's people that are willing to put up posters. There's people that are willing to share posters on social media. Again, extremely invaluable. We have people that will staff booths. What we are shy on are parking attendants, which we need at most of our events. The people who do the layout for an event the night before. So night markets get set up the night before. Vendor markets get set up the night before. So some of our big things, there's a grid or whatnot that needs to get set up, or things that need to get moved to that location, barricades, that sort of thing. And then morning of and afternoon would be helping the vendors get set up. So whether it's escorting them to their location and just trying to keep the vehicles moving to get the vehicles parked so that the next person can get set up, and then in reverse the tear down. What we would have had for Pumpkin Fest was absolutely amazing this year with the use of a shuttle, because that allowed for so many volunteers to not have to park at the event. When they're only working 2 or 3 hours, they could get door-to-door service, park at the municipal lot. They could still stay. They could shop, or they could come early, they could eat, they could do whatever, but they wouldn't need to worry about parking and walking. And so that was just amazing. And it wasn't just for the volunteers, it would have been for whomever, customers, whomever wanted to utilize it. It was a free service that was being provided to the town. So I'm hoping we will be able to do something like that again, because parking seems to be a bit of a challenge for someone who's only working a partial shift. Is that what we wanted?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Mhm.
All right, so we have now set our next quarterly meeting for January 26th, 2026 at 7 p.m. here. So it will also include a Zoom link, versus roundtables they are not on Zoom. Roundtables are an in-person brainstorming session only. They typically are not at the town hall. Um, they're not as formal because it is lots of brainstorming, and the cross conversations would make it way too hard to hear. So they're very productive, but it's just not possible to do on a recorded session.
Our next roundtable is January 13th.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
How do people get invited or notified or?
We're gonna make a flyer. Yep. And it'll be on social media. It'll be in the newsletter. It'll be as many places that we can get it out to our community.
Master list of all those, invitees. I mean, so if we say, picked up a phone and say, hey, I'm going to the round table, you wanna come, we'll meet you there, that kind of thing.
Roundtables aren't exclusive to committee members.
How do we, like, friendly reminder if I see, you know, so and so like.
You can tell anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be
Anybody
anybody on our
who-
list.
yeah, has
It
to-
can be anybody.
And so it will go out to the email list.
Yeah.
But it's not an exclusive, just like how this got posted on Facebook and was open to the public.
Right.
I mean, that's,
And
It's
so if
not
you
a
see
closed
somebody
meeting.
That you think can help
Yeah.
us.
we're definitely
Yeah.
looking for brainstorming. We're looking
invite
for
everybody and
suggestions.
anybody.
Yep. Is there any public comments? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey,
Yes,
it's
Kathy.
It's Kathy Keene. Hi guys, it's great to see you all. I'm very sad that I am not there to wave to you all and say hello in person. A few things. So, first of all, it seems to me like $11,000 is a good amount of money to have gotten from just 19 donors. So even though you may not have had a big yield in percentage of letters sent out, it's still, nothing to sneeze at. So that seems good. In terms of other donations, what occurred to me, like, all right, so Jen, you said that, if you start taking credit cards, it's so much, but what if there were QR codes around the fireworks themselves where people could Venmo $5 to support the fireworks? Just little signs around like you love the fireworks, because people come from all over and all kind of different towns. And then you're getting a ton of small donations. It might actually make a dent. That was a thought.
And we'd have to double check with the town treasurer to see
I don't
But I
think
mean,
we can have a
we could-
Venmo account.
and link it to the checking
Yeah.
account.
Okay, but
One
if
year we
there's
just
some
went
way
through
to,
and passed the buck.
if there's some way to have a QR code where somebody could, because like you can't really take cash donations anymore. That's not going to work, right? Like, on a large scale. But if you did have a QR code where people could donate, people come to these fireworks from all over the area and they love
Mhm.
them. And some people don't want to bring, they're spending a ton of money there anyway. But some people would be happy to spend, $5 or $10 or $20, throw it in the digital kitty. So that was a thought I had.
When you set up a, Kathy, I don't have Venmo, but
hmm,
when you set up a Venmo account, do you have to, you have to link a checking account to that?
Answer is yes.
yes.
And that's where
And then there's a fee to move the money into the checking account from Venmo.
only if you want it right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Days you
If you,
get it.
right.
But
If
I
you
don't know
can-
if the town's gonna allow us to hook it up.
Yeah. I don't know what
Okay.
the logistics
I'd have
are
to
about
double
that,
check.
but
Yeah,
But-
I'll check with the treasurer, but it's a good suggestion.
Mhm.
And it's a question that I haven't asked, so
Okay.
I will ask.
I have two more quick points. In terms of volunteers and finding volunteers, there is an app when I was very involved in volunteering stuff at my kids' school, we used an app called Sign Up Genius. Has anybody in the room
Mhm.
ever heard of it? Okay. Have you
Yes,
guys
that's
ever?
what, that the elementary school is doing it for Winterfest.
Okay, so the good thing about Sign Up Genius, some people are not familiar with it, but what's kind of nice about it is you can create a list of things that you need for an event and
Mhm.
people can go to it because like, yeah, I want to volunteer, but I don't know what they need. I don't know what I can do. I don't want to have to talk to a person and like maybe say no to what they're asking. But if I can look at this list, I can pick something that I can do. Like parking attendant. Oh, okay, I could do that for 3 hours, you know?
Mhm.
Like, so that might be an option for future events. So that, and then you also know like what you need, and then you can reach out to your usual suspects and say, you know, girl, we are light on, you know, somebody to mark out those spaces. Can you help me do that? But then you're, you know, it gives you a way to let more of the population, the general
Yep.
population, go in and sign up for stuff.
I like that.
And then
It's easy.
the only other thing that I wanted to mention is on February 21st, I'm now putting on my Friends of the Canaan History Center 250th celebration hat. Mark your calendars. Bunny and Pat know what I'm going to say. February 21st, Saturday, we are bringing back the George Washington's Ball at the theater, and it's going to be a benefit evening with food and George Washington's beer made by Norbrook Brewery, and some dancing, and it's going to be a fun night. So mark your proverbial.
Don't forget the tipple table, Kathy.
And the tipple table, baby. That's right. Bunny, of course, is going to remind us about the tipple table. So it's going to be more details to come on that, but it's going to be at the theater on February 21st. Freund's is catering. Teresa's already got some great big ideas for stuff she wants to make. So it's going to be a fun night.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yep. More details on 250th events to come. But for now, I just wanted to make sure we got that on your calendar since, you know, since it's kind of around the corner.
That it is.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, Kathy.
Yeah.
Yep. See you soon.
She's amazing.
Anyone,
Paul,
anyone else
Okay.
have any?
Mr. Tom,
Sure. We have some events planned at the store. Right now, we're just kind of past grand opening, and we want to sort of methodically go through the next few months and try to bring authors in, try to have some events in the store. Small space, but we have access to other spaces that we can use that help us with bigger groups. My daughter and I are doing a lot of planning right now. We should have a calendar of events for the store in the next few weeks.
there is something on there already.
There is, we have Halloween, we'll be open Halloween late, and we'll be giving away free comic books and candy to kids. All supplies last. And we'll also have, we do have an event coming up where people can bedazzle their book covers, which is all the rage right now.
Yes, I've heard.
And also, because we're Whistlepig Books, Whistlepig, if you don't know what that is, it's a groundhog or woodchuck. So guess what, we'll be having an event on Groundhog Day, because nobody else does that. So, we plan on having celebrated author birthdays like J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday. We'll probably have an event in the store for that and do some things like this. So we're gonna try to be very active. It's not just a passive, come on in and buy a book. We'll be trying to do events every month where we can. So more to come.
What about November 29th?
Oh, we're starting to talk with other businesses to do Small Business Saturday. So far, we have two small businesses that have agreed to partner with us on I think we're looking at a sort of a discount day, basically. And we're going to probably do something like you buy 3 books, you get 1 free. A few other places looking at doing discounts. I've got a bunch more people to talk to. A lot of people have liked the notion but haven't committed. I'm hoping over the next week we really firm it up and we'll get something out there for people to know that come into North Canaan and do some shopping and maybe get a discount or something nice at all the places that are participating, and we'll see where it takes us. But just starting to talk to people now.
I think it's very exciting, but these are ways that we're trying to make things happen throughout the year.
Good.
if you have.
you know, with
time,
working with all
whatever,
of these others.
We have it, we'll put it on our.
We'll
event
be
committee
working on it
page
soon. We're
and
trying,
stuff.
we want to make sure we get, all the participating businesses on that flyer. So
Yeah.
we're still talking to people to make sure that they want to be a part of it, but it's about, you know, shopping local, shopping small. You know, we're not going to compete with, the big stores on,
You have
Friday.
to open at
afterwards.
5 AM.
No, no, Saturday. So go ahead and do your Target, your Walmart on Friday. We'll see you on Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, and this, yeah, we're happy to help advertise
Great.
and all that
There'll
too.
be more
Great.
coming out soon. Emily and I are doing a lot of discussion on
Great.
getting things set up, so.
Sounds great.
I've got two things. Am I cutting anybody off here? No. We want to set up something like a hub center, like in Norfolk, they have the hub.
Yeah,
In our railroad station with the accordions, we get a lot of people in that they're very excited when they get through with us, but on the way out, they go, what else is there to see in Canaan? Now, you can go online on the town website. They don't take the time to do that, but I would like to have put up a sandwich board or something in our premises. I could even put it out on the deck as to all of these programs, things that are available, other businesses. They're always asking, where's a good place to eat? Want to put it in one spot. And we have the board that's pincushion, the corkboard there.
Yeah.
I'd like to organize that better so I could just direct them. Here's what's coming up. Here's what's available in town. Did you notice the bookstore new across the street? And they're, where am I? What are we doing? So
I
I'd
know.
like to work that out, but I need all this information in some kind of a package that we can present on a wall. You got a lot of space on the wall outside. You can kind of weatherproof it, even if I have to buy something that you put a door on a glass door.
there's, in a restaurant that I went to when I was on vacation, in the corner, I've been there a few times, and in the corner of this cafe, they have, basically, it looks like a card table, but it has business cards and flyers and for anything local. I don't know if you would have room for something like that, but we could start, like, get business cards from all the restaurants and just have one central location for all of that stuff. Said, hey, you want to
Yeah.
know what's going on? Go to the accordion museum. They've got it all.
You know, we'll dedicate, we'll move things.
Things.
We'll dedicate.
So that's an
that.
idea
Important.
too. That,
Important.
and then the businesses can bring you their flyer,
Right.
or if they have a special
Right.
going on or something, if we can let them know that, hey, this is, if you want to get your information, available to people, here's a central location to drop it off.
Yeah, we can move things upstairs that are normally on display on the center floor. And that'll give us room for something like
Just,
this.
I don't know, it's an idea. I just thought that,
Yeah.
that
No,
to me,
it's good.
especially when I'm on vacation
Yeah.
and I'm looking for
Yeah.
different things, I mean, it attracted me right away.
Second thing is signage. We've got to start capturing the people that are going by Canaan. Going up North Elm, they're coming down North Elm, they don't want to go through town. There's a ton of traffic through the town of North Canaan. I watch it all every day,
Mm.
and they're coming through fast.
Mm.
So they stop at our place because our signs are big enough, and there's one word that catches their eye, the word accordion. What? Where do you see that word ever?
Mm.
So they will fly into the parking lot. But is there any way we can get
I don't think I can.
anybody to help us put up a sign at the junction where the Catholic Church is? People, that's where it's critical. They either go straight north on North Elm, coming south, or they're coming south the other direction. There's a ton of people. They don't even
What kind of
know
sign do you want?
anything that says shop.
Well, there is,
Restaurant.
I mean-
Museums this way,
I mean, there
I think
is,
I can get it up.
bookstores.
The one before 44,
I mean, aren't those the signs that the Boy Scout,
yeah.
Here it is.
the Boy Scout did?
Yes, it's just,
But you drive it by, you
There's
drive
no
by too
arrow.
fast.
It just says restaurants, it'll say museums or whatever it says. health center.
Yeah,
It doesn't show arrow this way or arrow that way, north, south. It doesn't give you any direction.
Yeah,
It doesn't say 0.4 miles east or. No description.
mm,
yeah,
There's something that's came up on here, patch, that you can put on, for instance, in Wands, North Canaan stuff. This is Thursday,
It's a newsletter.
yeah, so why can't we go on here also?
we can, but you gotta remember, most
my God.
people are blasting through town to go somewhere. Those are the folks we can catch. They're not getting in the car and
For instance, I have Falls Village, Halloween Story of Miss Anna, David Hunt Library, Music Hall in Norfolk. It's all this stuff on here from the towns. So I don't know why we can't go on here also.
we
that's
would need
good.
somebody to do that. We would
Yeah.
need
What is it,
somebody to
honey?
take
It's
charge.
It's called Patch.
Patch.
It's a
That's
newsletter.
You're looking for something that's
We
visible.
don't have a visitor center. My sister came up from Asheville and she works at the visitor
Center.
center. Right, and she said there's no central location, either a town green or which would have a visitor center. If it's
Right.
not manned, it has pamphlets. I know Sheffield has one and I mean, the libraries, typically, some of them in the area have information about big bulletin board and pamphlets, like you say.
Yeah.
be available.
You know what was
No,
happening when
no.
the diner was open? That's one thing I will say for Dunya. She was telling people, you gotta see this, you gotta go over there. She sent tons of people
Mhm.
to us in other places in town. I was there, I heard her do it. And we don't have that anymore.
There was also a brochure rack there.
Yeah,
Yep,
Yeah.
There's a link
So-
on here if you want to put our stuff on here.
that
we
helps.
can look into that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But I'm
Send it.
wondering if we're allowed to put signs. I'll
The
pay
town-
for them.
I think that we need to bring it up.
Mhm.
There's various regulations on the size of the sign, or if it's
yeah.
movable or not, and
Right.
also the amount of time it can be up there.
The DOT.
And then also, because it's a state road, you have to worry about that.
Thank
Just to
you.
Make sure that you're within
Okay.
the regulations. I don't think it's a barrier, I think it's just
The sign that says, welcome to town of.
Well, we have the welcome to
But
Canaan,
there's
North
no
Canaan sign.
detail about shops this way or museums that way
Oh,
or.
Right.
directing people.
Okay.
Let's just see what we
Right.
can
Okay.
get.
Okay.
By the road,
Good- good
before the
suggestions.
railroad station.
Okay. Yeah, it's almost like I'm thinking about like the Stop and Shop sign, you've got all the different, like plazas, they got all the names of all the
Yeah.
places that are in that plaza.
Yeah,
So it's almost that type of a.
Yeah.
Not to that extreme, but something like that to let
Yeah.
people know what's down there. Something to think about, okay. Anything
And-
else?
Any other public comment? We're good?
We're good.
Motion to adjourn?
so
Thank you. All right. 8:13.